Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Those were some highlights of the Nigerian Premier Football League between Akwa United and Gombe United, and also you saw the most important league in the land, that is the Nigerian National League NNL, between Stormers and Dakada FC of Akwa Ibom, and it's a beautiful game. That's the way to go. We are getting there gradually. I think our league will become viable, and the eyes of the world will have to shift, have to move attention to the Nigerian Premier Football League, to Nigerian football. We are still developing, and probably we will get to the height, to the topmost top at the end of the day. But we will be starting with a different sport, also a ball sport, but this time around handball, where the IHF Trophy African Zone 3 tournament is ongoing. Nigeria under 18 and under 20 men's handball team started with wins at the IHF Trophy Handball Championship going on right now. It was a good one for the Nigerian under 18 team under coach Emeka Unamane, after they defeated Benin Republic 45-19. The under 18 team, that were ruthless against their West African neighbors, that is Benin Republic, in their first game at the IHF Trophy Handball Championship. And also for the under 20 men, they also follow suit of what the under 18 did by beating their own compatriots to 61-19. That is Liberia. They defeated Liberia 61-19, while the under 18 beat Benin Republic 45-19. So both countries, Liberia and Benin Republic, scoring 19 goals in that particular game. But it was a good one for the 18 and under 20 men's team at the competition. And for the under 18 team, they'll be playing Ghana today. That is, they'll be playing Ghana today. But for the under 20, today is a day of rest. They will have rest till Thursday before they will be up again in action. But for the under 18 men's team, good one from coach Emeka Unamane, who they camped in at the Rowe Park in Lagos before jetting out of the country for this particular competition. They are the defending champion for the male and female. We are the defending champion, and we have started on a very good note, and a bright one at that matter. It's if you look at it, I think handball is now a sport that is fast evolving. It's going back to its glory days in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. Handball used to be one of the biggest sports in Nigeria, but over the years, so because of administrative abnormalities and other issues surrounding the sport, it has to take the back seat. But right now, since Sam Ocheho came on board, I think that federation has been doing excellently well in all ramifications. So congratulations to our under 18 handball team, and then the under 20 handball team, as we wait for John Osho to join us on the show. Okay, John Osho, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. It's a good one that our under 18 men's team and under 20 teams started the IHF Trophy African Zone 3 Championship on a winning note, blowing their counterparty with Liberia and Benin Republic.
Good morning, Emmanuel. It's good to be here. Talking about the handball junior teams, these guys are the future of Nigerian handball, and for them to have done what they have done, starting and commanding their presence just in their first games, they are kind of like laying down a marker and telling the other teams that we're here to defend our titles, and whatever it is that you think that you can do to take the titles from us, then you better be doubly prepared in the other games. And like I said, they are the future of the of handball for Nigeria, and I hope that these guys, they'll maintain them and then train them properly. The ones who get the opportunity to probably go abroad and play for foreign clubs should be given the opportunity as well, so that when they are old enough to play for the national team, we just might see this as an opportunity for us to raise up, or kind of like rise up from the dead handball federation and handball in general.
Okay, the under-18 team will be taking on the, another West African neighbor, that is Ghana, today in their second game. But for the under-20, they will have to wait till Thursday before they will be back to action. But for the under-18 men's team, what are your expectations for that game against the Ghanaian counterparts into this fixture?
Every game against Ghana, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's us doing athletics with them, or now handball in this situation, is something. It's usually a very feisty battle. We're friendly brothers, but there's always that jollof war that we usually have. Who has the best jollof rice? So I'm sure this handball is also an opportunity for us to kind of like stamp our authority. If we win, we'll still banter them on Twitter like we do.
Okay, if we win, we still banter them on social media like we always do. For the under-18 team and the under-20 men's team, it's a big one. Congratulations to them for starting the tournament on a winning note. All right, let's leave the handball sports now, and let's go straight to the women's football and quickly look at the Super Falcons set to leave the country, the shores of the country tonight to Douala for their clash against the indomitable lionesses of Cameroon. For these ladies, they have a double header against the Cameroon women. I think we and Cameroon will have scores to settle this year in every area of sports. And for our Super Falcons, they will be leaving the shores of the country tonight after they will have their training at the MKO Abiola National Stadium later on this evening before leaving for Cameroon. And you know, it's a big one. It is the Paris 2024 Olympics qualifier. We've not been to the past 2 editions. The last time we graced this occasion was in 2008. where we lost all our group games right there in China. That is that hosted it in 2008. But this time around, we are chasing the ticket in all fronts to get that ticket and represent the continent of Africa in the women's football Olympic event. And for our Super Falcons, they will be leaving the country tonight. John, are you there?
Okay, yes, I'm there. I didn't know it was my cue to come in. So, just like you stated, right, they haven't been to the tournament since 2008. That's a shame for a team as big as the Super Falcons in terms of pedigree. And looking at the Super Falcons and what they've done so far, they've gone to the World Cup to at least make a pretty decent showing of themselves. And this will be an opportunity to reignite their stamp and their authority in Africa by qualifying for the Olympics. We've been denied in 2012, in 2016, and also the last tournament as well by Cameroon, by Equatorial Guinea, by Côte d'Ivoire. And now we're meeting Cameroon again. So this is an opportunity for us to fight, because I think, I don't know what the problem has been, but why would you qualify for World Cup and not qualify for Olympics when it's not like you're using junior players? You're actually allowed to use senior players in the women's tournament. So I don't know what the issue has been so far. So I think it's time for us to break that mental barrier, because it's become a mental barrier now. We'll break the mental barrier and try to, qualify for Olympics. It's always good when you have your nation playing in Olympics beyond just athletics and the other sports. If you have the Super Falcons, playing in Olympics, it's going to also kind of like pique our interest to want to watch more of the games and follow them, even if they don't really perform too well. There's a way that it helps these players to build up confidence, so that the next World Cup, some of the players who will be going to the Olympics will also have more extra experience to probably perform better in the next Women's World Cup.
Okay, now Brandy Wardrum is back, same as Ashley Plumter is back to the side. For the last 4 games, Brandy Wardrum was not there, and Justin Madugu took over, where he actually did so well, winning the last game here at the MKO Abiola National Stadium. Now, because of a contract issue with Randy Wardrum, though it has been sorted out, and Randy Wardrum is back. 21 players he has invited. Oshola is back to the team. Rashidat Ajibade is there. Chiamaka Nadozie. Like I said, Ashley Plumter is back. What does this mean for the team in general? The coming back of Ashley Plumter into the team.
Yeah, Plumter is a top performer, right? And it's always good to have your best performers available. You do not want to use the deputies too much. You don't want to risk it. When you have good players available, it's always best to use them. The reason is that you're thinking that there's no need to invite this person, there's no need to do this and do that. What happens if the person you're putting to deputize for this player ends up not performing as well as this player who has been reliable for a while, right? And then you do not qualify for the tournament. That becomes a problem. So Plunter coming back is good. Waldron coming back is good. And then the old guard all being available, like so Chamaka and Inadozie, Asisa Oshola, and so on, all available means that we have the best squad. So there's not going to be any excuse right now. Nobody's going to be telling us, it's because this player didn't come, that's why we didn't qualify. So we're expecting the Falcons now to use all that they have to go ahead and qualify for the Olympics.
Yes, use all that they have to go ahead and qualify for the Olympics. The reverse fixture will be here at the city of Abuja, the MKO Abiola National Stadium on the 26th of February, the return leg. And immediately after that game on Friday, they will be leaving they will come back to Abuja and prepare properly for the return leg on Monday, 26th February. All right, let's leave that story quickly and let's go straight to the continent. And we used to go back to the women's football, but that one will be home on the home front. But let's just look at this story on the continent, where the AFCON 2025 preliminary draws, that's the first round, the first round draws, where the 8 low-ranked teams, FIFA-ranked teams on the continent of Africa, will be meeting each other to join the already 44 qualified teams in the final round of qualification for the 2025 AFCON. The last of the draws went down in Cairo, that is the headquarters of CAF, on Tuesday. Okay, this is the draw. Before John will react to it, we have Somalia against Eswatini. Sao Tome and Principe will take on South Sudan. Mauritius will battle Chad, while Liberia also will play Djibouti. The winners of these two-legged encounters is based on home and away basis. Will now join, the 4 of them will join the already 44 qualified teams, automatic qualified teams, for the next round of qualification series for the 2025 AFCON. Now, these 8 ranked teams will be playing each other, John. That is why it's good for you to get a very good ranking. For the Super Eagles right now, we are third on the continent of Africa, but we are not looking at that. These preliminary rounds for this particular event coming up in 2025, I think it's a good one and it's a good way to go, because 2025 is not far away.
Yes, it's actually not far away. And if you look at these teams, these are the middles in African football, right? They're getting the opportunity to play each other and knock each other out, and then make it to where the major teams are, and then they play the proper qualifiers. And this is good. And there are rumors that this Nations Cup might just be played in July. And that means that our players, that's the players that we know who play for European teams, won't have to break their season at certain points and lose risking their places in these things. So let's. So far, CAF has shown us that they can organize things, especially since Musepe took over, a businessman who's also a billionaire. We're hoping that these preliminary rounds are done properly. We don't have any issues of people talking about bias or referee, issues. And then from there, we move on to the next round, and then we build up to another great tournament. This has been arguably the best AFCON tournament ever, and then we're looking forward to 2025 even getting better. And it starts up here, the CAF preliminary draws and matches against you see the teams like Eswatini, Sao Tome and Principe, Djibouti, teams who are not really known to be big guns in Africa, getting a chance to qualify for the main draws.
Okay, getting a chance to qualify for the real draws. All right, like I said, let's leave the continent and come back to the home front right now. We'll now talk about the women's football. It is match day 9 in the Nigerian Women's Football League. That is NWF match day 9, and actions have been lined up. We have 2 groups, Group A and B. All right, let's quickly look at the Group A, the fixtures for Group A. Nasarawa Amazons will be hosting Niger Rattles of Abuja. The ladies will take on Confluence Queens of Kogi. Adamawa Queens will battle Abia Angels. White Heartlands Queens of FC of Owerri will travel to face Royal Queens of Delta State. Big one in Group A, John. If you look at the Group A fixtures for Nasarawa Amazon, they defeated Niger Rattles in the first leg here in Abuja. Then they still have with them, that is the ageless one on Omebi, who captained the side when they lost 1-0. They were beaten 1-0 here in Abuja. Right now, they will be going away to face Nasarawa Amazons in the second round of the Nigerian Women's Football League. I think that is one of the biggest fixture for Group A. John.
Yeah, they have a score to settle. You know how it is when it comes to you always get your chances. So you play the first leg, whatever happens, right? You go back, fix your other league games, and then when it's time for you to play again, you go and you play the second leg against that team, and it becomes a very feisty affair when the team you're going to play the second leg against has already beaten you, the first time that you guys met. So Nigerian Rattles have a score to settle. Now they do not. They have two things. Three things could happen to them. They could win the game. Kind of like reassert dominance, and now let Nasara Amazons know that you defeated me in the first game, and I'm defeating you. They could draw, and things stay. They maintain status quo, and they could lose, and it becomes a problem. Because when they lose, that's now 2 losses on the bounce, and it becomes a problem. Whenever Nasara Amazons are now playing against Nigeria Rattles, there's now this feeling that the Rattles will have, and they will feel like, these guys have been beaten also, so this just might be a problem. So now it is up to them as to how hungry they are and how much they want to win that game.
How much they want to win that game. Now let's go straight to Group B, where there are actions also in Group B. We have FC Robo Queens of Lagos against Edo Queens of Edo State. Delta Queens will take on newcomers Ekiti Queens. We have Bayelsa Queens playing Sunshine Queens of Akure, and the Rivers Angels will host Remo Stars Ladies in that particular one. Big one in Group B, FC Robo Queens against Edo Queens, the Queens battle, and all of the Queens and Angels will be facing each other, and then the Stars and Angels will also do battle in Group B. But for the Queens, they will be facing other Queens from other states, the likes of FC Robo Queens, Delta Queens, Ekiti Queens, Bayelsa Queens, Sunshine Queens.
So it's quite interesting looking at the names of the Queens and all. For Robo Queens, I think that's one club that they've been in the news for years now. Churning out very amazing talent. Just shows you how they've been churning out talent, and at the same time they've been maintaining dominance and also relevance in the Nigerian Women's Football League. And for the game against the Queens, they are playing at home. It is expected that they are going to win, right? But the way football is these days, nobody, the fact that you're at home doesn't really mean. People will come to your backyard and then they will beat you, black and blue in your backyard. So let's see if the Queens can go out there and they can cause an upset. Now let's also see for the other ones who don't have Queens in their names, for Rivers Angels versus Remo Stars. Let's see if the Remo Stars ladies can actually go out there and cause another major upset against the Rivers Angels.
Okay, let's quickly go straight to Europe and leave the shores of Nigeria. Let's start with the EPL before we look at the Champions League result for last night, where Manchester City have moved to second on the Premier League table after had a fighting win over Brentford. 1-0 it ended, and Erling Haaland in the 71st minute of that game coming into rescue of Manchester City, the Blues they are also called. It was a big one, big night for Brentford, who stunned this same team last season, courtesy of 2 goals from their main man Ivan Toney and 1 from Mbeumo. I watched that game. It was a big one. They dented Manchester City's record last season, and they had wanted them to do the same, holding them until the 7-something minute before Erling Haaland coming into the rescue for Manchester City. Before you react, let's look at the table quickly. Let's just look at the first side of the table and see what that win means for Manchester City. They now have 56 points, 1 point behind Liverpool, also who will be having a game later on. We'll talk about that. Arsenal is third on the table with 55 points. We have Aston Villa with 49 points on the 4th position. Tottenham on the 5th position with 47 points, and Manchester United is on the 6th position with 44 points. We now have Chelsea, who are 10th on the with 35 points. Let's look at where Brentford is standing quickly. The flip side of the table, we'll just look at Brentford position with that defeat. They still remain 14th on the table with 25 points. John, quickly just react to this in 3 seconds. Manchester City, they are now 2nd on the EPL table.
Yeah, it was expected, right? And I think the rest of the EPL should be scared at this point. We can't really fight it. When you look at Manchester City, they are not at their best currently, and they are still 2nd. And you know how they do when it comes to the last 10 games or thereabouts of the season. They'll just go on a very ridiculous, winning streak to end the season, I think if one team has shown that they can fight against them, it's Liverpool. So it's going to be a very wonderful one. And Arsenal are also in the mix. So with 3-horse race, let's see who gets there first. My money is on Manchester City, based on previous results and based on how they've proven themselves in the past. And for Erling Haaland, a man that is not on form, still getting a goal. It also shows you that when this guy goes back on form, it's going to be a problem. And he has scored against all the teams he has played against in the EPL. Getting about 5 goals against Man U in that process, 2 goals against Chelsea, and so on. That's one fine striker.
Good one for Erling Haaland getting on the score sheet last night. Let's go straight to the big one. It was the Champions Night in the round of 16, UEFA Champions League. 2 games were played last night, and it was a very big one for Inter Milan. They hold just a slim advantage over Atletico Madrid. 1-0 ended at San Siro, and for PSV against Borussia Dortmund, it was 1-1. Most especially that game between Inter Milan. Let's not forget that they are no longer away goals in the UEFA Champions League. What counts now is goals. But for Inter Milan, just 1 goal against Atletico Madrid. John, quickly, you just have to react to that result alone because time is against us. Quickly, in seconds.
All right. For Inter Milan, I'll just say something for those who don't really know. For Inter Milan, this season they have kept 21 clean sheets, and then they have conceded 14 goals in all competitions. So it's going to be very hard for Atletico Madrid, even when they are going to play at home, to turn over these results unless there's one sort of calamitous fall from Inter Milan. So I'm banking on Inter Milan to go on and also seal it in the second leg.
Okay, let's run over this story quickly. The Algerian FA say no, we don't want Jose Pizarro any longer. They are turning their attention to Vladimir Petkovic, the Slovakian coach, who they want who they are really looking at coming in to coach them. That is Vladimir Petkovic instead of Jose Pizarro. Now they want to sign Vladimir Petkovic. And lastly on the show, let's look at this story quickly, where we have our own Super Falcons duo of Esther Onyinezide and Esther Jakaye, who have joined Spanish women's club, that is Madrid FC. So it's a good one, and it's a fantastic one for these 2 ladies. John Osho, thank you for joining me on the show this lovely morning. Good to have you on 360 Sports on Trust TV. All right, that is where we're going to leave it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi saying thanks for watching.